Hey everyone, so good to see you.
Hello.
Hello.
It's our second meeting, and I'm finding it actually quite amazing that Leo month is already halfway, actually, even a little bit over halfway through.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I batch record some of my videos, so I'm already up till Wednesday next week, and it's like, oh crikey, it's under a
Wow,
week of recordings left to do.
wow, that's amazing.
Yeah,
I do them each day, and each day I'm thinking, will I come up with another idea?
yeah,
I've
yeah,
been a bit late to the party because, other things take priority. Um, but for the past couple of days, I've been having a lot of fun playing with characters. Right now, you have me between characters, and it's been a lot of fun to actually follow them through their own journey.
yeah.
So I have a lot to catch up on, but a lot of it is actually coming through the next week because I've managed to, nail down quite a few characters.
Wow.
But I think it's part of the fun of it is that some of your stuff is being done. You're not necessarily sharing all of it. You're experimenting and playing, and I don't
Yes,
know,
but
playing stuff with your husband and joking around. But that's just one way of doing it, isn't it?
it's actually a way of finding my character and
Yeah,
finding out who they are because there's that little bit of interaction and
yeah.
someone to question me is like, no, but this is how it is.
Mm.
You currently have me halfway between artsy fartsy and um Angry Bird.
Angry
Yeah.
Bird,
Angry Bird.
not a grumpy hedgehog.
No, not a grumpy hedgehog. Although I did draw one this morning.
Mm.
I had my notebook out and
You did?
I was
Really?
watching your video and it was just like, okay, there's a grumpy hedgehog.
Can I
Mm.
see it?
It's outside. I've got
Okay.
to go through the bedroom. My husband's asleep.
Okay. Oh,
I
that's
will send it to
fun.
you though.
Just for people to understand, I did one Dr. Anya video about grumpiness, and I don't, you have to watch it to see
Yeah.
what's happening. But the grumpy hedgehog is connected to that. I think
Yeah.
yesterday, wasn't it? It was
Yeah.
yesterday, I think. Yeah.
Yes.
You know when
I
you
thought I
say
needed
things.
it.
Yeah, you know when you say things like that, like grumpy hedgehog, is that a phrase that you normally use, or did you just find yourself saying it?
I have to look back because I
Okay.
actually, no. I actually wrote a story about, and I wondered when I was still in Cornwall, I wrote a story about a hedgehog, and I'm not sure whether it was a grumpy hedgehog or not, but I somehow I have to look whether it was already a grumpy hedgehog in Cornwall or not.
Yeah. One of the things I found is that some stuff that I'm saying, I'm like, I have no idea where that's come from at all.
Well, that's the fun bit. I think like for me, it's just like I like to use things that are not so obvious, I guess,
Mm,
or normal, like that throws you a little bit off the tracks because you didn't
mm,
expect a grumpy hedgehog, for example.
mm. Yeah.
But
I
I
think,
always had a lot of in my all my creations. I love playing with animal characters, the
mm,
fly and whatnot. They keep on
yeah.
appearing. It's different.
I think that was what knocked me out of the character when I first started doing it, though, is that I'd say something and I was like, I don't know where that came from. But immediately as I'm having that thought of, I don't know where that came from, I'm out of the character. And
Right.
and so that became a bit of a problem. And then you were saying like stay in the character and be surprised about it, but stay in the character if you want to.
I, I,
I
I think
actually,
the more you do it, the less maybe you're thrown by not knowing where it came from.
Yeah.
I
You're
know yesterday
expecting
I had,
for it to
sorry,
happen like that. Sorry, yeah.
I was just saying yesterday I had a very similar problem, but yesterday I was playing with my inner people pleaser. And she's very softly spoken and quite high pitched, and it is quite amazing how deeply my voice dropped
Mm,
as soon as I made a mistake and fell out of character. It's like, okay, let's not use that.
Might have
yeah,
been interesting though.
yeah,
I remember
Right.
that Joanne said about one of her videos, commented, and she said that little snippet I commented on, she nearly would have edited out. And the
yeah,
funny thing is, we often, the things that are the most interesting, like we think we can't have them in there.
yeah. I think I had rules for myself of being in character for the whole thing. And the little snippet you're talking about was at the end of the video. And I kind of look at the camera and I'm start smiling, but I'm clearly kind of out of the character or just about to leave it. Yeah, and saying something. I don't know what I was saying.
I was
Um,
quite impressed with how you stayed in character for the hot and cold fan.
yeah, well, that's an example of what I said. Is like I said the wrong word, and what like Annie was saying, stay in the character, and the character has said the wrong word. It is
I quite
helpful. It can take you in weird places. Yeah.
but they're part of it. I can't remember who it is. No, I do. Your character reminds me of my favorite teacher from primary school.
Mm.
And he didn't smoke a pipe, but he used one very much the
Yeah.
way you're doing.
Yeah.
He was very much into, amateur dramatics, literature and all of that.
Mm.
Probably why he was one of my favorites.
Mm.
But he would use the pipe and he would use these faces and these gestures. And like I say, it just reminds me of him.
Yeah.
I
And
think that's
It's
especially
the
with
not
the
main.
way,
time. Go on.
I was going to say, especially with the way you're actually telling people to move forward and be bigger in themselves.
Yeah.
He was very much that kind of person. So
Yeah.
it makes me smile a lot.
Mm. It's funny though because the few times when I've thought try and do something from the book or try and do try and have a message, again I've just been knocked out of the character completely. But then it's funny how my stuff and my interest sort of comes through eventually, but I have to start it in a balls of wool and hot and cold fan, and I have to start there just to get into the swing of the character a bit more.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But if I'm trying to be too serious and I'm trying to be like I've got a message, I'm just too much in my head. I mean, hopefully in the future I can bring a bit more of that in, but right now I just need to keep being in the character.
Well, I did see a huge difference already between when you did a long format video talking about the project a little bit,
Yeah,
that it had a different vibe to it versus to what you did before you started the character.
yeah,
It felt much more confident and unapologetic.
yeah. And I think that surprised me because I didn't plan when we were talking about having characters. It was about being an expert and having authority and those kind of things. And I don't suppose I really twigged about the unapologetic bit might be, I don't know, talking rubbish, but it's okay to talk rubbish. I don't know. There was something about that just changed.
I think it's that acceptance, isn't it? When you've actually said, I can stand up and I can talk about this stuff. I might be
Mm,
talking absolute rubbish or nonsense, like the balls of wool, but I do have something to say.
yeah,
And being unapologetic about that is like saying, you're asking, what on earth made you think they were my balls of wool?
yeah,
So you're actually saying, what about me makes you think that I'm, knitting at my desk?
yeah,
That you're actually standing firm in your own
yeah. I just think
persona.
I think it's a really interesting experiment. I'm curious for Anya though, because you came up with the idea. Did you
Yeah.
expect to see as many different things as in benefits, or did you just think, oh, it's a fun game? Or I mean, I think we all thought it was going to be beneficial, but did you expect to be able to see it in like my stuff? Or
I mean, I definitely the idea was to instead of shrink and instead of um, maybe being too approachable,
yeah,
too much the one way. That was the idea behind it. Of course, I wanted to have fun with it as well,
yeah,
you know, and I'm having a lot of fun with my character. So I think that the overall intention, or you could say overcome imposter syndrome, or however you want to
yeah,
call it, was very clear to me
yeah,
for us, you know,
yeah,
and but the specifics, of course, are very interesting, you know, to
mm,
see them. And I think you never can foresee how that really pans out, you know.
yeah,
I like for me, for example, I notice that I'm much clearer on certain things.
mm-hmm,
That, for example, on my website, I have a page artwork where my art prints are, but I don't have
mm,
a button saying on the home landing, for example, buy my art. You know, like
yeah,
this directness. It's kind of like I'm seeing more where I've been maybe hiding things
yeah,
without realizing. And but because my character is so the opposite,
yeah,
to that, I get all of a sudden ideas that go more in this direction of do this, buy this,
yeah,
you know, like just put it out more directly for people to find, I
mm-hmm,
guess.
yeah.
I definitely enjoyed the Bio Whack Along. I thoroughly enjoyed that. Personally, I thought when I very first saw the title and I saw, you know, the like few seconds that it repeats before you actually
Mm,
click, um, on a mobile, that is.
Mhm.
And there was just you whacking a pillow.
Yes, with a frying
And I
pan.
thought, I want a whack along. Oh, it's a picture. I thought it was a pan and a pillow.
yeah,
Well, the thing is, I did an art reel when I drew the picture, and that frying pan and the red cushion was already
mm,
in the reel, you know, and
mm,
there are these in the picture, there are these little red things. So that's these little red things that are floating through the air that are
yeah,
whacked, and so that was what that was for. But I guess it's kind of like she's much better at selling things than I am, you know,
yeah,
and I get ideas that are kind of quirky and fun. I think
yeah,
I wouldn't get otherwise.
yeah,
But it's the freedom. What I really, really also enjoy is like saying things like I have the permission to say things I can't,
yeah,
you know, I wouldn't dare to say as just me.
yeah. I was watching the one today, and I don't know why it seems so funny, but you do it in a few, you know, that first few seconds where you're sort of kind of taking the mickey out of somebody who's stressed or whatever.
Yeah.
You're you go across the camera shot, so you're out of camera, you know, and then you go across the screen, and then you're off the other side. I don't know why being off screen at each end seems so funny. I don't know why, but you've done that in a few of them, and it's almost like you're not aware of the camera. I don't know. Just
Well, obviously, I mean, if you're impersonating in that moment, so she,
yeah,
Dr. Anya herself, is talking very directly to the camera.
yeah,
But in the
yeah,
intros, she is actually basically the character is enacting. So it's a
yeah,
double thing, if you know
yeah,
what I mean. It's the character still, but she's enacting someone else and taking
yeah,
the Mickey out of it. And so if you could see it as, and then obviously sometimes you ignore the camera.
yeah. No, I don't know why, but it just seems so funny that she was going off. But you're right. There's something about sort of the energy of it is that they're just buzzing about, and then Anya is very still and focused. Yeah. So it's the contrast, isn't it? Probably that's making it seem
It's the
funny.
contrast, and also I think when you disappear from the camera, you never know what's happening. You know, is the
Yeah.
character, is she coming back? Where is she coming
Yeah.
back
There is
from?
a,
I think that also maybe is a little bit that suspense. Yes.
yeah. Yeah. No, but it's also it feels a little bit breaking the rules. Like I remember when I shared a video and I was off camera, but saying, I'm getting changed and I'm doing this. And I don't know why it just tickled me that I wouldn't edit out those bits. I wouldn't make it perfect, as in to be in the shot all of the time. Um,
I
just
think
felt
it's
more
intriguing.
normal.
And of course people work with it on purpose, you know, having
Mm,
on out of the off a voice, you know, and
yeah,
it's a great thing because you don't, you know, like it's the anticipation. What will she
yeah,
appear again? And I think it's, you know,
I mean, sometimes people use it in that kind of like they go off screen at a distance and then come back on screen very close, and it's that surprise.
yeah.
yeah,
And with Joanne's, I'm just getting changed. I'm changing into this shirt, or I'm doing this. It was just like, okay, what's coming back? And I quite enjoyed that.
Yeah,
I
it's
just,
that
yeah.
suspense.
I had never thought of it as being a technique. I was just trying to get through and film something. And I think that's the thing, is that some of these stuff is that I'd never really stopped to um, give language to it and go, oh, that's interesting. She's off camera and it's still good. It doesn't have to be, because I've got all these things about right way to do stuff and like being on camera and whatever.
That
But,
is why I sometimes really believe that there is a huge freedom when you start doing something new and you
mhm.
don't know how it's supposed to be.
Yeah,
And if you refrain from trying to find out, right? And
yeah,
you're just doing it and you haven't got a clue. And there's
yeah,
a huge advantage to that. And often you find these unsuspected little gems.
Yeah, I think
And then
yeah,
that's
you
what I'm
can go
like.
back, like you said, you know, and ask yourself why that worked. And that's also a way of
yeah,
learning.
I'm rather enjoying the improv side. I'm just playing with a character and figuring out what works and what doesn't, and where I've got crossovers, just improvising and playing with who they are. It's just fun.
Yes, I loved your behind the scenes you did with your husband together. That was very funny. He has also a wicked sense of humor.
Yes. Not many people get it, but
But that's
I
with
just want,
anything we do, you know, like not everybody will get your sense of humor or how,
no.
yeah.
yeah,
But I
I
think in any
wanted,
relationship, you have to be able to laugh
yeah.
at each other.
Yes.
Anyway, I keep hesitating and half starting. I wanted to ask about, like you changing the colour of your hair and doing the piercings again and all of those kind of things. I know that you've been over several months, I don't know whether it's even been a couple of years, figuring stuff out for yourself. But I just find it so curious that the timing for these big outward changes are when we've been talking about all these kind of things, or do you think you've been making big changes over months now?
I think they've probably been in the pipeline for quite a while now.
Yeah.
It started last year when I decided that I was going to discover life, the universe, and everything when I turned 42.
Mm.
Um, I didn't discover life, the universe, and everything, but
Yeah.
I'm continuing to discover myself, or should I
But
say,
you found
myself.
us. You found us.
I
There
did.
you go.
But that was it. It was kind of like it all started with saying, right, I am actually going to video myself.
Mm.
And that was a huge leap because I've been avoiding the camera for most of my life.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and after that, it's been like, okay, I am reclaiming bits of myself that I let go or I got frightened of or all that bump. And I think kind of now I've got to a point it's like, no, I am reclaiming bits of myself. I'm not letting them fall away because they make other people feel uncomfortable. And I think part of this Leo has been part of me saying, actually, no, stuff the blonde. I don't like it. I've never liked it,
Mm,
even when I was blonde.
mm,
I just didn't think it suited me. So it's been like a way of saying, right, these are all my bits. Now I'm going to put them all back together and figure out who I am really.
mm,
And
mm,
I think often that we kind of only show one facet of ourselves to the world, and often the one that feels the safest to us, which makes sense. But then we sometimes just forget
mm,
ourselves, that we have many different parts and things that as human beings are complex, and being whole doesn't mean you're this kind of saint. On the contrary, I think it's being a little bit more edgy maybe sometimes, and or like Joanne often said, a little bit more dangerous.
mhm.
How is that with that dangerous actually? Because I remember you said like you wanted to be more dangerous. So do you feel that your
Yeah.
character is leading you into that at times?
Yeah, in an odd way. Obviously, the
Hmm.
character is, in a way, is kind of a bit of a softie. In my mind, I'm seeing him as a bit of a softie and just in, enjoying what is sound of his own voice, kind of thing. But I have noticed in some of the videos that I've started to record since then, which is other content for the channel, it was like, well, like doing a reaction video. I did a reaction video, and I knew kind of the standard way to do reaction videos. And it's like, yeah, but that's not how I react to content. I make notes, I do other things and whatever. So it's like, okay, I'm going to do a video doing what my reaction is in the real world, what my reaction is. And I don't know whether that seems particularly dangerous, but it feels like I'm saying, no, I'm not doing it your way. And I think it's that sort of that energy. Does that make sense? It's not dangerous as in, but it's just like, no,
What does that mean?
stabbing somebody.
Oh, you
That's what the horror movie, isn't
dangerous
it?
when you
With a
kill
knife.
someone. Is that the only danger you can think of? Is it?
When I was drawing the cartoons, I kept finding myself drawing somebody with a knife in their hand and blood coming off it.
Okay.
So yeah, but I think even for me, that dangerous is it's like, no, you do it your way. I want to do it my way. And I think before I might have been a bit more apologetic and trying to get things right.
I think that I don't know. I think there's a reason why sometimes, like the how do you say this? Very strict regimes, for example, didn't like
Mm,
the artists or
yeah.
comedians or stuff like this because they are kind of dangerous in that way that they do, they speak truth to certain things through the comedy,
Mm-hmm.
for example, or through the art.
Yeah.
And they have this rebellious, doing things their own way.
Yeah, I think it's not
I've got a
dangerous as
twitchy
in
eye.
physically
Sorry.
dangerous.
Yeah.
You okay?
Yeah.
But
I'm just
more
probably winking at you both, but I'm twitching.
it's socially dangerous or socially disruptive.
Yes,
Mm,
I'm
that's
not
it.
doing it this way. I
Yeah.
yeah.
am going to speak this truth. I am going to say this.
I'm
Yeah.
calling you out on your bullshit in a creative way, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the feeling that I've had inside. It's like, no, I don't like that. I'm not doing that. And I think before I might have started the video as being a bit more, yeah, I know that that's the right way to do it. I'm going to play and do something different. And it was kind of that kind of feeling of, oh, funny me going to do something different. And it's like, no, I'm not doing that. I don't want to. I don't want to be that childlike energy. It's like, no, I'm an adult. I do it differently. That's it.
I kind of like those little moments your character had. It's like this, that's the kind of danger I feel is, and what you didn't do before when you kind of say, yeah, start thinking with your brains,
Yeah,
or, stuff like this, where it's a little bit more, yeah, like a cheeky confrontation, I guess,
yeah, yeah.
instead of
I'm still figuring it
apologizing.
out. Yeah, yeah. I'm still figuring it out. Yeah. So um, yeah, I don't know whether it's coming out today, but I did this one, and it's a story without a point, and I just end and I just look at the camera.
Okay.
I don't know why. I just thought it was really funny. It was
Some
like
of those are awesome, though.
just like it's just like, oh, this happened. You know, when people tell stories, it's like, oh, this happened to me, and then this happened, and it's an exciting story, and
And
it's
then it
like,
ends in
this
the
goes
middle.
nowhere. This is
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think that is funny for sure.
yeah, I don't know. And part of me thought, because it's a shorter video, it's about just under 30 seconds, and I thought, oh, do I not share that particular one or just share it with you guys? And I thought, I don't know why, it just tickles me. I just um yeah. So that's the fun part, to sort of realize your own sense of humor. It's just like, okay, that's funny to me that it just is a very boring story.
I think,
My
because another th what was maybe unexpected for me, because you asked with these, how it panned out or stuff. Like I didn't think I would have as much fun. I mean, I thought I
Mm-hmm.
would have fun, but as much fun with the character as I'm having, and how
Yeah,
much somehow I missed, I guess, acting or having
yeah,
a character, how, because I had a phase where I was thinking maybe that's just done,
yeah,
or and so I mean, all my creative stuff is fun for me, yes, but at the
yeah,
moment, I'm having particularly a lot of fun with Dr. Anya,
yeah,
and yeah, so that for me maybe is one of the things I didn't really expect. So it feels also as if a part that was a little bit on a break,
yeah,
is coming alive again.
yeah.
And the
You know,
sarcasm, I enjoy the sarcasm a lot.
yeah. You know the bit where you're kind of taking the mickey of someone, and that performance bit. Do you relate at all to that part of the character, or is it? I know you want to bring Dr. Anya as in the focus, the expert talking, but it seems like it's fun to film that first bit and just exaggerate.
Of
Oh, I'm so
course,
stressed.
of
Yeah,
course, it is fun. Yeah.
yeah,
Because it's a little bit slapstick as well,
yeah,
it allows me, because my mic has a cable, so once I'm
yeah,
sitting, I can't move that much anymore. So I have to do
yeah,
the slapstick part where you don't have to understand necessarily what I'm
yeah,
saying or so much
yeah,
before, unless I buy one without a cable. But for now,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, of course,
yeah,
it's a lot of fun
it,
to.
it seems like you've got the extra creative release there as well. You've not just got the one character in Dr. Anya, you've also got the playing out of people that you want to help to a certain degree.
yeah,
Yes, and I wanted her to be like, I wanted to have a character in a way that you think she's one thing, and then all of a sudden, she is something completely different. I wanted to play with that there are these unexpected, weird facets that come out, that like
yeah,
the singing the children's song or whatever, that are in contrast. I wanted to have really that idea of something sarcastic that gives, but at the same time gives me a lot of space to do different things within it, if that makes
mm,
sense.
Yeah.
And the other thing also, so I don't know whether I told you this, but I so on purpose looked from other gurus,
Mm,
and how they phrase things, the titles. And
mm,
I have 2 pages with all those titles that I then use and
mm,
but twist around, like this.
Oh, perfect. You've got all the same keywords.
mm.
But yeah, it's because it's the thing that really annoyed me, and I never wanted to do something like 3 things
Mm.
and now, but as the character, I can do it
Yeah.
and take out like I like the combination of taking out the Mickey of that principle, but still hopefully
Yeah.
also giving something of value. That was my gist of,
Yeah.
it, I guess. Yeah.
No, yeah. From a purely, visibility sense, you've got all the same keywords as the self-identified gurus, but
Yeah.
you're actually taking the absolute mick out of all of them. I think it's wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, it's I have what is interesting, because I have the feeling you, Joanne, you're getting really more and more ideas about, what you want to do in terms of long form videos and stuff
Mm,
like this. And I get ideas maybe from my website or office, but I
mm.
don't really have any idea about long form
Yeah.
videos.
Yeah.
Or how I want to continue with that, or do I want to continue with long form videos, so
Yeah.
this is where I'm, for example, quite, I don't know, blank.
I think it depends what you term as long form. Long
Longer
form
than
could
a
be
minute.
anything longer than a short.
Yes, anything longer than a short. At the moment, I'm really enjoying the shorts because it forces you in a short amount of time to get to the point.
Yeah, but you're doing a ton more work on your shorts than I am. So I think I think it's a different thing completely. So I mean my shorts are very short and I'm filming a batch of them together in 10, 12 minutes. Um, and I'm doing it as that experiment because for me it's already hard enough to be in the character where you're taking it and you're enjoying the performance and editing and
Yes, yes, of course. And it also takes a little bit a while. So that's why I only
yeah,
do one a day. It's like
yeah,
with the dance shorts was the same thing. It also takes a little while to put it all together. But for me, they are like a piece of art, like
yeah,
that, all of it. Whereas the long form, I always did like you, Joanne. I just would switch on the camera and talk,
yeah,
and that's it. And yeah, so I don't know about that. I know that I have the idea with the office hour, Dr. Anya office hour, but that probably would be also on Zoom and then
yeah,
sharing it maybe afterwards or something like that.
yeah.
I do love the idea of that. Just in case you're wondering, I'm writing on post-it notes and sticking them to my monitor. So
I haven't been doing many notes today, which is unusual. Yeah.
What kind of notes are you taking?
um, my right versus my wrong. What is dangerous?
Okay.
Oh, maybe that would be a fun one to do one day, the three of us to talk just about what is dangerous.
Mm,
Yeah, I think that's one of the things, isn't it? One of the things about, hiding parts of yourself. What are you allowed to show? And what will society
mhm.
allow? Can I be dangerous?
That is a very valid question. And I saw yesterday, I haven't finished it completely, but I saw Dr. Ingrid Clayton has written a book on fawning, and it's gonna be published in September. And she did it like a free workshop for those who pre-ordered, and she explained a little bit more the fawning response, and she made very clear that you also have to see it in context of systems, where people really, it is a survival system. It's in the body. It's not a conscious choice. And
Hmm.
it was the most safest thing, maybe when you were growing up or something, and that we are in systems where sometimes you have to stay safe. And I thought that was really important because
Hmm.
I don't, it's a little bit stupid to just say, always show everything of who you are. I think you need to be, I think the idea is to have more choice. That would be nice instead of, automatically appease, see what, be more, having more of a choice. I think that's what it is. And I think for me, for example, creativity should be always that safe space where you can express everything, be it through a character, for example, or
Mm.
however, that should be, I mean, there should be more other spaces too, but this is first and foremost, I think, a space
Hmm.
where you need to allow yourself to be dangerous.
Yeah. I was just writing down about, and I was saying like permission to hurt others, but I don't.
Mhm.
Again, as I say, I'm not talking about murder. I, but I,
I'm so glad to hear.
I just, so
Glad to hear,
yeah,
Joanne. I would have been really worried about you.
Keep Joanne away from the knife block.
my thoughts, my inner thoughts. Yeah, I think I've recognized. I think this is why I've been so obsessed with misunderstandings. Is that I'm recognizing that I'm hurting people and trying not to, and then ended up making myself very small. And I didn't always understand why I was upsetting other people. And trying to get better at speaking and doing all of that was to try and avoid that. And in therapy, I'm told I'm not responsible for other people's feelings, but I still feel it. I still feel like I don't want to upset other people and say, you know,
But
say
apparently,
something.
that is part of the fawn. I mean, I can relate very much to
Yeah,
that too, by the way. And apparently, that is part of that fawning
yeah, yeah,
response you learn. Like you kind of learn to be more aware of other people's needs
yeah,
and what they, what did she say? Who they need you to be
yeah,
so that they can feel safe. And so she said it was about, instead of how other people feel, so you seek safety by making other people feel safe, and you regulate other people so that you can feel safe.
yeah.
And so the turnaround is learning to feel first safe inside of you,
Hmm.
and learning your own needs and feeling safe enough to
Yeah.
upset other people. That's the thing, isn't it? Like, to feel safe enough to be able to deal with other people's upset.
Going very, very deep right now, but it's weird that I was actually touching on a few of those, like, the fawning and making other people feel safe. I was touching on a few of those things while I was playing with my people pleaser,
Yeah.
which is very much the whole fawning, isn't it?
It is, and that was another thing I thought was interesting, that she said that psychology for a long time did a disservice, so it was called codependency and people pleasing, but it
Mm.
totally didn't put that part of fawning into account. It was as if people had a choice, they were choosing to people please, or they were
Yeah.
choosing to be codependent. And so I think that this is a whole different conversation if it is your body doing its best to keep you safe. And I thought, and so it also has to go through the body again, not up
Yeah.
here, but through the body to learn something different.
Yeah.
Which is why, for example, I love characters, by the way, because it is a physical thing
Yeah.
as well, how you carry yourself, how you talk, and all those things. And you can have an actual experience what it feels like to be a little bit more edgy, for
Yeah.
example. Yes?
No, no, no. I'm not allowed to run away. My air conditioning's blowing my notes away.
What? Your air conditioning stopped or
No,
no?
it's blowing my notes off my screen
Oh.
directly above my head.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I like the word edgy, being a bit more edgy. Mm. But I think if I'd have had that in my mind, thinking about, oh, I want to feel more dangerous or a bit more edgy, I think that would have got me all in my head again in terms of the character, because he's not edgy or dangerous in the way I was originally thinking. But the fact that he's just doing his own thing and, yeah, perfectly happy with it, and believing that he's very profound and you too can be a great thinker like me, I just...
I love your character. It's just got an awful lot of, oomph and bombast, and I'm very profound and wonderful, and you should listen to me.
I'd like to build in some contradictions. I'd like to do some playing with that. So I'm not quite sure how to bring that in without getting completely in my head.
I think it's having the intention and then forgetting about it
Yeah.
when you play, and then I think it'll happen.
Intentions and forgetting about them.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's easier said than done, but
No, I completely understand it, because I had some very big emotions yesterday. And while I was trying to fall into my people pleaser character, I'd actually got my angry girl. And it was just like, okay, my intentions have gone. I was intending to be very pleasant and very sweet, and right now I'm angry and grr,
Yeah.
arg. So I had all of these intentions, and they just disappeared because Angry Bird turned up
yeah.
Yeah.
spontaneously.
Mm-hmm.
What did she want to say?
She was angry about misunderstandings, miscommunications, and people polarizing people in all arguments. I get very upset with polarization,
I get that.
except on the planet. It's allowed on Earth. We're allowed poles.
Yeah.
But no, I got very upset about all that yesterday. It was just like, okay, no, I'm supposed to be sweetness and light right now. I've got flowers in my
Right.
hair and everything.
No, but that's exactly it. Yeah.
But
I
maybe
just
you're not so off, I have just to
Yeah.
think of that, what I learned yesterday again, because that there is a part also in the people pleaser that is upset, but it gets,
Yeah.
so
I actually went
maybe
with
you
it.
weren't off at all.
Yeah. I think they're really related.
Yeah,
I
very
ran with it
related.
and did a whole, my name's Amy and I'm a recovering people pleaser. And this is what I'm doing to stop myself. And it's really difficult. And sometimes you find yourself falling back into those holes of nodding and smiling. And
Yeah.
it's okay. Just as long as you find your way back. So yeah, I had to run with it. Changed out my flowery dress and everything.
Did you
Okay.
record it?
Yes.
Oh, so we might get to see some of this?
Oh, you are going to see some of it. Yes, I
Okay,
recorded
good.
quite a lot
Okay. Okay,
yesterday
so people watch out.
and this morning. We're all playing. Had a lot of playtime this weekend. It's been so much fun.
Yeah.
Just being able to actually have it and work with the time and emotions and everything else that I've had available. So it's all going to come out in a great big wave in the next few days.
Okay, here we go. You're for sure building some anticipation now. You're having us on the edge of our seats, wondering what's gonna happen next. You're the
Yeah.
dark horse, as they say. Like,
Oh yes, I'm coming up from behind.
yeah. Is there anything you are still kind of wishing for? I know, like maybe you're on your own time frame, anyways, but so for Joanne, what are you? Because it's I don't know how many days have we left. Like, if sticking to the
Yeah,
Leo,
yeah. I'd say I'm already.
22nd.
I think it's like
Yeah,
maybe a little over a week left.
yeah, yeah.
Before
I've got
the,
I've got the 8 more to record.
okay.
Um, there's a few things that I thought, oh, I haven't tried that feeling yet, like feeling angry, or or being a bit more forceful, that kind of thing. And I
Okay.
was like, okay, I'd like to during the experiment a bit with that, bring in a contradiction of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But
Sure.
but in my mind, I'm like that. And then I had there was a couple of ideas for what I'm imagining is the last one. Um, and then I was having a conversation with Claude the other night, and it was saying, well, maybe this professor character should continue on into the future. And I was like, no, I was going to end it. But, it's like, but I say I'm just open to which direction things go, and that it might be I need to continue it a bit longer, or resurrect it a few times. Um,
I think, but I definitely gonna continue with my character. I mean,
yeah.
not in this. I mean, I find it quite taxing in a way, both intense and taxing to do something every day, every single
Mhm.
day, to show up and to come up with an idea. I think I might take like a week off when we are finished,
Yeah.
just to somehow, relax a little bit.
Mm.
And then I don't know whether I do her like once a week or I don't know yet. But I
Yeah.
definitely want to continue.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
was just thinking. Sorry, I'm just interrupting a second. I was just thinking about the one that you said, um, either talk about the weather or create, and I was just like, oh, I love that so much. But yeah, it was so just something that kept coming back to me. It was like that that kind of passiveness of just talk about the weather, and that really they should be creating. Just anyway.
I just wanted to ask. I Anya has Dr. Anya with a Y. You
Mhm.
Mhm.
are the professor, or your
Mhm.
character is a professor. Does your professor have a name?
No, no. For a little while, it was in my head. It was Professor Whitlock or something. But yeah,
That
but
works.
I haven't said the name because I was kind of hesitating about it making a man, although it was a man and I thought, oh no, I'd like it to, if it does morph over those few days, to be more of a strong woman, but having those kind of characteristics. So I didn't want to be out and out just saying a man, although I think a few times I've said he or something, but yeah,
I think it solidifies it when you have a name, and
yeah,
should you continue the character, you could then, like if
yeah.
you feel like, not because Claude tells you though, just if you feel like continuing with the character, then you could
Yeah, well, as I say,
give
the
it a
idea
name.
that I've got, which might be the last one, but as I say, I don't know whether it'll work like that. I probably need to keep it as the professor for now. So we'll just see. We'll
The
see.
professor. I am the professor. That is also cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
That is very much
yeah.
I
'Cause I
am.
think it's the professor, isn't it? It's like okay.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Very definite article there.
yeah. So
Well, I
yeah,
mean, I'm really curious to see when we talk again after
mm,
the official challenge, which probably means that Mamie is then completely in it, which will be
yeah,
also really interesting to
mhm,
see what comes up then. And I
yeah,
think also another one would be interesting to talk about the danger thing.
Yeah,
what it means to be dangerous. I think that might be a really
yeah.
interesting conversation to have.
And I've written down on my notes, because I was writing hurting others, and I've double underlined upset others.
Don't murder them, just upset them.
It's okay if you upset other people. It's not okay if you hurt them. Right? Okay. So yeah, so upset is a good word. Yeah.
Well, it was lovely talking to you. I
Yes.
can't wait to see what
Yes.
else you're doing. And
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
and hooray for doing it.
Yes. Yes.
I'm in awe of both of you for you
Yeah.
doing something and posting something every day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I'm really pleased. It's funny because like the views aren't there or anything like that, but I'm like, this is a really cool experiment.
let's do it.
Yeah. So,
In that
um,
sense, see you
yep.
soon.
Thank you. Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.